All right, today, what is the topic that we are doing today? So, some of you did the worksheet, but some did not. So please, please do your work, huh? Okay, we can share about your fish story later. Let's listen to what we are going through today. Okay, today we are going to talk about the source of energy for animals. Okay, source of energy from animals. So let's ask, okay, where do you are also an animal? I hope you all know. What are the okay, you all learn in primary 3, what are the animals that we have? Come, all in the chat group. What are the different types of animals? We are one of them. We are mammals. What else do we have? Go on. Insect, yes. Okay, Jovi, be careful. Mammals, spelling error. Amphibians, yes. So we have amphibians, we have mammals, we have insects, reptiles, very good. Fish, one more. I still like one more. Bird, thank you. Okay, so last time my teacher teach me was Fremby, if you all know Fremby. Fish, reptiles. My teacher teach one, amphibians, so I'm sharing it to y'all. Amphibians. And then okay, besides amphibians, then we have mammals. Sorry. Mammals. Just now got people spelling mistakes, so do take note. Birds, insects. So you all managed to tell me almost everything there, which means what you learned in lower primary was good, which is very good. All right, then where do you all get your food from? Let's just share. Where do we get the food from? Where do we get food from? Like, where do you get the food? Where do you all get your food from? We get food from plants, from animals, yes. Okay. Food from animals, from plants, very good. Then okay, so but in the end, actually all our food comes from the plants. Okay, the main source of energy. But how do plants get their food? Do you all know? How do plants get their food? We get sunlight, water. Oh, okay, water. So okay, very good. Any more? Okay, the main source of energy for everybody is the sun. Sun is the main source of energy for everybody because that's the ultimate main source of energy. Okay, then how do plants actually get this source of energy? You all know, how do the plants get this source of energy? How? Let's share. How do the plants actually get the energy from the sun and then in the end pass to us? How? So from the sun to the plants to the animals. Okay, so how does this come to us? Very good. We talk about photosynthesis, which is actually the main thing that is that we are going through today. Well done, man. All right. So this one we'll go through slightly later, but now we talk about photosynthesis first. Okay, what is photosynthesis? You may need to remember this word equation: carbon dioxide plus water with the help of light and chlorophyll, we get glucose plus oxygen. So now maybe you use the word either teachers. There are some teachers that use the word sugar. There are some that use food. So all but if you are in secondary school, definitely we use the word glucose. So in school, which one does your teacher use? Your teacher learns sugar. Who else? The rest? Glucose. So depending on your teacher, you follow your teacher. Okay? Because different schools, different teachers use different pattern. But most schools would use sugar. Most schools will use sugar. Okay? Then but the ultimate correct term actually is glucose. Okay? The alternate correct term should be glucose because that's what we use in secondary school. Okay, you all know the difference between glucose and sugar. Do you all know the difference between glucose and sugar? They are not the same. Okay, they are not the same. Glucose, okay, sugar is the most complex form. Sugar is the most complex form, whereas glucose is the simplified form of sugar. The broken down form of sugar is glucose. Okay, so after you break down sugar through digestion, you get glucose. All right, after you break down sugar through digestion, you get glucose. That's what we that's what we have lah. Okay, so after you eat sugar, digested sugar, if you want to call it. So when you eat sugar, digest finish already, you get glucose. And so they are related, but they are not the same. But for primary school, we are okay to accept sugar for now. All right, can all right. So the word equation, carbon dioxide plus water, you get glucose and oxygen. So these two, we call them the products of photosynthesis. Okay, and what affects photosynthesis? So we know we need carbon dioxide, we need water. At the same time, in the presence of light, we also need chlorophyll, so that what does chlorophyll do? What does chlorophyll do? Okay, chlorophyll traps sunlight. This one, do take note. Okay, if you want to know, glucose is simplified sugar. Simplified sugar. Yes, in secondary school, we only use glucose. In fact, in secondary school, you have to write the chemical equation. This one is just the word equation. So if I want to write the chemical equation, glucose is C6H12O6. There's a chemical equation for it. But of course, you are not needed to learn yet lah. For now, you only need to know if your teacher use sugar, you use sugar. Your teacher use glucose, you glucose. So you follow what your teacher is doing, because they are the one marking your prelim papers at least. So follow what your teacher teach. Okay, for that part. Okay. Otherwise, for now, we are okay to accept all three. But follow what, because some teachers, they are very particular about whether you got listen during their lesson or not. They say they want you to use food, you use food. They want you to use sugar, use sugar. Okay. So this is one part. Then yes, we also need to know what photosynthesis is where the green plants, they capture light energy using chlorophyll, okay, to make food using carbon dioxide and water. So over here, I say food lah. So I say depending on your teacher, whether glucose or sugar, then you change accordingly. So what is the rate of photosynthesis affected by? We have light intensity, temperature, and carbon dioxide concentration. How does the amount of light affect the rate of photosynthesis? Anybody can, okay. Maybe Jera, you share with me. We can type in the group. Maybe Jera and Ruohong, you share with me how light affects photosynthesis. Then Pace, Oscar and Abel, you tell me about temperature. Then Kelvin and Jovi, you tell me about carbon dioxide. Then we are left with Marco and who's the last one? Marco and let me see who's the last one. Do I have another fellow? Marco, yeah. Okay, so Marco, you share with me how light affects. Okay, so all of you type in the group. Okay, sorry, let me say it again. How does light affect photosynthesis? How does light affect temperature? And how does light affect the carbon dioxide? So help me see how does these three affect. Then we see whether we are right or wrong. Higher the light intensity, okay. How does light affect? So do share with me. And we will see yeah, what did everybody write? So Ruohong share, the higher the light intensity, the more sunlight is trapped in the chlorophyll. You still did not answer the question. How does it affect photosynthesis? The rate of photosynthesis, how is it affected? Yes, you do temperature. Okay, do type. Let me see whether you all know or not. Okay. Yes, so must complete the sentence, Ruohong. Okay. Agree with Ruohong. The rest?
Annie.
Oh, Annie, sorry. Okay. Sorry, because the name I can only see half of it, so I never see the word Annie. All right. So Kelvin, what about temperature? Okay, Oscar say chlorophyll trap more sunlight, light intensity increase, photosynthesis increase. Okay. Higher the temperature, higher the rate. Slower. Okay. Good. Kelvin, your answer is quite complete. Not bad. Well done. The rest? Okay, everybody try, huh? All right. So we see can no problem. Gerald, continue. The chloroplast in the plant contains chlorophyll, and the plant can trap carbon dioxide. The rate of photosynthesis is higher. So Jovi, you are talking about light intensity, temperature, or carbon dioxide. All right. So some you may need to take note of how you answer the question. Okay. You may need to take note how you answer the question. Okay, let's look at the thing. Okay, maybe it will help if you look at the graph. That's why we have the graphs down there. So number one, you see, if the intensity of light increases, okay, if we increase, we see that the rate of photosynthesis will also increase. Okay. However, when you give it some more light, right, they also max out. They won't increase anymore. It will just stop down there. All right. So yes, I agree. The higher the light intensity, like what you all say, the higher the light intensity, the higher the light intensity, okay, the higher the rate of photosynthesis. Okay. However, after a point, okay, after a certain point, when it reaches limit, any increase in light intensity will not increase the rate of photosynthesis. All right. So yes, the higher the rate, the higher the intensity, the higher the rate of photosynthesis. However, after a certain rate, okay, after a certain amount of intensity, the rate of photosynthesis actually did not increase. In fact, it will just, because it reached its limit already. Reach limit. When the limit is reached, then the rate of photosynthesis will not increase. Same for carbon dioxide. At the start, when there's more carbon dioxide, my rate of photosynthesis increase. However, after a certain amount, it'll be what we have like the intensity of light. It will stop increasing already because it has also reached its limit. Okay, so just now, like what I think it's Kelvin that shared, the rate of photosynthesis, okay, will increase with an increase in temperature, yes. But if you realize after a certain point, okay, the rate of photosynthesis actually drops. It drops. In fact, it went to 0. Why? If temperature too hot, you die, the plants also die. Correct or not? So they cannot increase further. All right, so you die, the plants also die. That's why after a certain temperature, the plants cannot take it already. They will also die. Too hot already. Correct. Okay. So certain plants can grow in hot places, but not all. Certain plants can only grow in cold places. So some place too cold also die. Too hot also die. So depending on the type of plants that we have. But if you're talking about, let's say cactus can survive in hot temperatures, yes, but not all. Okay, not all kind of plants. Some plants too hot will die, yes. All right. And so this is how all these three will affect. Later, we'll be looking at questions where all these will affect the rate of photosynthesis. All right. So be careful when you answer the question. Just now, when we look at some of our classmates' answers,